Hey, welcome back to another wonderful day here at MSA. So glad you could join us. Today's topic, Mike Johnson, talking about immigration. We've covered several things on immigration and why it's not stopping. Nothing's going on. It just keeps happening more and more every day. More and more people coming into our country. Now, Mike Johnson was asked by a reporter recently about this migration issue and what they're doing about it. He is the Speaker of the House. He's supposed to be taking care of it. There's a nasty rumor out there that he's going to side with the Democrats and go ahead and allow 5,000 people to enter into the country legally every day and get their documentation for asylum and be able to do their thing. And the problem is that's not how Mike Johnson feels. That's not what Mike Johnson said. And he stands his ground on what he meant 8 months ago when they passed, the bill without Democratic help. And again, it's been sitting on someone's desk for all this time. But we're going to roll a little clip so you can hear what Mike Johnson has to say himself about this issue. And then we'll be right back to talk to you about it. So see you in just a second.
Well, we don't know exactly what the Senate has come up with because we've not seen the text. We're anxious to see the text of what they've done. There's a lot of, I think, thoughtful and deliberate discussion and debate that's gone into this. It's a complex issue. I don't think now is the time for comprehensive immigration reform because we know how complicated that is. You can't do that quickly. I do think it's past time to secure the border. And that's what H.R. 2 reflects. Remember, we passed that bill more than 8-9 months ago now, and it's been sitting on the desk. H.R. 2 had very important elements. Restore Remain in Mexico policy, end catch and release, reform the asylum program, the broken parole process, rebuild the wall. Those elements are critically important. You can't choose from among those on a menu and assume that you're going to solve the problem. This is not a Republican talking point. 2-3 weeks ago, I took 64 House Republicans down to the border. As you know, we went to Eagle Pass, the epicenter. We talked to people on the ground. We talked to Border Patrol. We talked to the sheriffs of the counties on the border. We talked to the deputy chief of the U.S. Border Patrol, who's a 33-year veteran of the agency. And they told us, and I've told you this before, they said the best metaphor. He said, we feel very much like at Border Patrol right now that we're administering an open fire hydrant. We don't need more buckets. We need to reduce the flow. We know how to reduce the flow. You have to have these elements involved. So we're not playing politics with this. We're demanding real, transformative policy change because that's what the American people need and deserve, and that they're demanding as well. House Republicans are standing on that line. I will tell the President that today. I've been saying it consistently since the moment I was handed this gavel, and that's never changed. I don't care what you call it. I'm telling you that these elements are important in order to make the change that is necessary. No one should be playing politics with this. There's too much at stake. Fentanyl is the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 49. Trafficking is a scourge. The cartels on the border down there are making billions of dollars trafficking humans into the U.S. 60 to 70% of the people that cross at the Eagle Pass, which is the main funnel right now, are single adult males between the ages of 18 and 40. These are not huddled masses of families seeking refuge and asylum. These are people who come in here probably with ill design. Look, the human catastrophe cannot be overstated. The border is a catastrophe, and it has to be addressed, and you're going to see House Republicans standing and fighting on that hill because it's important for the country.
All right, you got to see the clip. Now, H.R. 2 reform, Remain in Mexico, the specialty for asylum and rebuilding the wall and all these things that were put into that's just been sitting for months and months and months. You have people that are like the Democrat majority leader, Schumer, that likes to sit and talk about how it's a non-starter bill and that it won't ever work and how are we ever supposed to get money to Ukraine and Israel and all that when you won't even help us work on this border issue. We're not going to help you work on the border issue is basically what Mike Johnson's saying. You're going to fix the border issue if you want us to help you with any of this at all. Because our country, in order to have a border, you have to have like something that's actual border that people can't cross. That's not a border. It's basically an open highway. Here in the United States, we don't have challenges like other countries do where we can just go from one state to the other. And the only way we know we're in another state, there's normally a big sign that's welcome to Utah, welcome to Wyoming, wherever. basically we should just have a big giant sign all along. I mean, just take a bunch of billions of dollars and make signs all along the border at the U.S. and Mexico that says, "Welcome to America. Welcome to your free ride." Because when you leave the border open and you have people just walking in, it's destroying the country. It really is. Because like Johnson said, there's people that are coming over, and the majority of the people that are coming over now are young men between the ages of 18 and 40. And he said he believes that a lot of them have, ill design, meaning that they have ill will that they're going to push against our country. There was a documentary not too long ago where some gentlemen wanted to see what the big deal was on this whole thing, on the migration thing. So they started in Ecuador and they worked their way towards the United States. And along the way, they kept finding these little hotels that were set up for these Chinese immigrants that are coming into the country illegally. And that's something we'll get into a whole other thing another day. But it's just going to show you that what is actually going on at this border, quote unquote. I mean, we don't have border reform going on of any way, shape, or form. Biden said it in his campaign when he was, debating against Trump, that, people need to be able to come into our country and then state their case, not wait in another country to see if they can get into our country. But that's how it's always been. So I don't understand how all of a sudden Joe is the savior of humanity. Let's just open the country up. Other than when Mike Johnson pointed out a long time ago that they want the illegals in here so they can vote. Because see, in a lot of states here in the United States, you don't have to show ID to vote. You just vote. So imagine you just had 10 million more voters come in because they appreciate you letting them come into the country. Either way, this whole thing on immigration, it's got to come to a head at some point in time. We can't sustain these kinds of numbers. I mean, we really can't. But let us know in your comments how you feel about that. That's my opinion. It's facts, what I've been hearing from all over. It's just amazing to me that it's still going on. That part of the Democratic Party is jumping back and saying, how are we supposed to help any of these other countries? How are we supposed to do anything when you won't bend on anything, what happens at the border? And it's like, well, we shouldn't be bending on what happens at our borders. I mean, if you ever try to go into a military facility, can you just drive right in? No. You have guards that are waiting for you. They want to see your ID. They want to know who you are to get in there. And why? Because they're protecting on what's inside. Isn't that what our border's supposed to do? Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. And while you're there, do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. As always, we hope that wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you're having the best day that you possibly can have, whether it be day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And we love all of you. So you take care, and we'll see you again soon, all right?